Grace Randolph. You know who's having a bad day today? Grace Randolph. So, for those of you who don't know, did you guys catch what happened at the Bafta? Is that what it's called? Bafta? And Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were up. Were they accepting award or were they presenting award? Looks like they're accepting an award. And then there's a man in the crowd. Shit, what was his name? Johnny Davidson. John Davidson. Thank you, Rogosh on Rumble. John Davidson. That's it right there. John Davidson. Who has Tourette's. I believe he's like the leader of the of a Tourette's chapter, assistance and help for people who have Tourette's over in that part of the country. And the reason he was there was because that they were doing a movie on him and his life and everything, right? And then naturally, now this might not have been a smart decision at Bafta. I mean, they really screwed this up. This show, did you guys know that this show was ran on a 2-hour delay and they still left the N-word shout out in? Yes, YouTube channel 420. He yelled out one of his favorite gamer words. So he yelled out the N-word and bitch right after it while they were speaking. You can see that, Delroy and Michael B. Jordan, they're kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? So it's kind of just an unfortunate situation. It's an unfortunate situation, but I thought that these guys, they handled it well, and they handled it well. They kind of moved on. Some guy came, one of the guy running the award show came up and said, "Hey everyone, there's a gentleman with Tourette's in the audience. He was not being racist. He just, he can't help it. It's unfortunate, Now, I don't think they should have put him in the front row, perhaps. That might not have been the best idea. But he came out and explained it, and, basically they went on with the show, right? Well, according to Grace Randolph, people with Tourette's who shout out racist words or shout out the N-word due to no fault of their own, they are racist. They really mean it, and they really feel it in their heart of hearts. And all that the Tourette's does is just vocalizes their inner racism. Check this tweet out, if it's still there, from Chlamydia Burns, Grace Randolph, who, as you can see, blocked me today for what I had to say to the bitch, because I called her out for this. Everybody called her out. Knights of Melvin called her out. Everybody was calling her out for this. And is the post still up? She may have taken it down. Here it is right here. Here we go. Grace Randolph. Tourette's means no filter. That's false, by the way. Which means this man thought it. Despicable. The Bafta out here making fools of themselves and the entertainment industry. Tourette's means no filter, which means he thought it. So, again, in the wise words of the intelligent and very brilliant Grace Randolph, who is the thought police now, clearly showing that she has no idea whatsoever what Tourette's is. Now, I'm not the biggest expert of Tourette's myself. I'm not, which is a neurological disorder. I'm not the biggest knowledge or encyclopedia of it either, but I at least know not to come out and say something that the tics that people use in their Tourette's represent how they actually feel. That is not the case, and everybody knows that. But apparently, Grace Randolph doesn't know that. Tourette's means no filter, which means this man thought it. And that's why he yelled it out. Now, the man came out afterwards, John Davidson came out and said that, he basically apologized that it happened. And then he said, anyone who thinks that I actually feel this way, it's very unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate is what he said. But again, not good enough for Grace. And she proceeded to get called out by everybody for this, and it was hilarious. So here's what Knights of Melvin had to say. Doing my part, calling out white ableist Grace Randolph, who believes people can control their Tourette's. Shut your face, you able-bodied bitch. And this was and she got community noted for this as well, you guys. Check it out. She got community noted for this. Outbursts from Tourette syndrome are involuntary and do not reflect a person's thoughts or beliefs. And that's it. It's completely random. It does not reflect a person's inner thoughts or beliefs. And people's tics can be, the guy was like shouting shit all night as well. It wasn't just when the two black guys went up and he shouted out the N-word, which is kind of what these people are trying to interpret it as. What's Grace going to do here? I can't wait to see what she does. I can't wait to see, because she's going to do one of the three things. She's either going to come out and apologize, which she hasn't done yet. She's just going to put her head down and weather the storm and pretend it didn't happen, or she's going to come out and play the victim herself. The internet is showing their sexism. She's going to cry sexism, and she's going to come out and say, I was just giving my opinion. And that creaky voice of hers, that Nurse Ratched voice of hers. And she's going to come out and play the victim. She was the one who was wronged. What do you guys think she's going to do? I honestly don't know. What do you guys? Let me know in the comments and in the chat what you guys think she's going to do. Imagine how, and honestly, imagine how this guy feels. Imagine how John Davidson feels, you know? I low-key feel bad for I don't feel bad for Grace, but everybody involved, it's kind of it's a shame, right? Like Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, they were put in a really awkward position, right? And I really feel bad for John Davidson, this John Davidson guy, because that he's probably grown up with this and then been embarrassed his entire life. And then to do that on a public forum, everybody's talking about it during a public show and everything. I'm just going to say, I'll bet this guy did not get a whole lot of sleep last night. He might not get a whole lot of sleep for the rest of the week, to be honest with you. And then you have pieces of shit like Grace Randolph coming out and saying that he thought it and he meant it. What a bitch. These are the same people that call you and I and all my friends. They call all of us terrible people, right? These are the people. Grace is one of the leaders in that. So, as you can see, Knights of Melvin got blocked for calling her out. I got blocked for calling her out. And then I posted this as well. This is the AI. This is the Google AI, how to deal with someone or be helpful to someone with Tourette's. I just want to read this to you guys. To help someone with Tourette's, don't tell them to stop, shut up, or control it, as tics are involuntary. Instead, be patient. Don't draw attention to the tics. Educate yourself on common co-occurring conditions like anxiety and OCD. Offer understanding and provide accommodations to reduce stress, which often worsens symptoms. Stress worsens symptoms. And avoid making them feel ashamed or watched. And then you got this cunt. No filter. This man thought it. Despicable. Grace basically checking all the boxes up here of what not to do. What a bitch. Wasn't there was an episode of South Park very similar to this, wasn't there, where Cartman pretended to have Tourette's so he could go on TV and say a whole bunch of crazy shit about the Jews. Right? Now it's different because, and then Kyle was calling out Cartman for faking. So Grace is kind of in Kyle's position. Only difference is Cartman didn't have Tourette's. John does. But really interesting. So once again, South Park predicting the future. Obviously, we're all laughing at Grace. We all make fun of Grace all the fucking time, as you guys know. Well, the woke freaks, the wokers, they're not happy with Grace either. And I got an amazing tweet for you guys here. Check this out. This is Rachel Leishman of the Mary Sue. Rachel Leishman of the Mary Sue, the bitch that came out really big on the cancellation campaign against YouTubers over the acolyte. She was one of those that came out really big on that. Look at what she has to say about Grace Randolph. This is a fellow feminist. Now, this woman is a fucking lunatic, but as you saw in the video I did today, it's really funny to watch these people go at each other. It's just, sit back and enjoy your popcorn, right? Here's what Rachel Leishman, fellow woke lunatic, fellow leftist, and fellow feminist, fellow LGBTQ supporter, had to say about Grace Randolph. Too many of you are still following Grace Randolph and platforming her. Not only has she been racist and sexist in the past, she's also been weird about teenage Jacob Tremblay. I don't know what she's talking about here. Like, I do not like her and never have. And it baffles me that people just ignore the terrible shit she says and continue to platform her. Stop. As the Joker said in The Dark Knight, when the chips are down, these civilized people, they eat each other. This is a former Grace Randolph subscriber. Grace, I am so disappointed in you. I've supported you for many years and always took your side, but this is just too far and you have crossed a line. I have unsubscribed, unfollowed, and canceled my membership and subscriptions. I have disabled family members and work with, I believe there's another part to this. Oh, I don't want to, I know I'm blocked. I don't want to, oh, here it is. And work with SEN children. I don't know what that acronym means. If someone knows in the chat, let me know. SEN children, and the way you spoke is despicable and unkind. I will not support you anymore. I wish you well in the future. It's so funny because I've said this before about Grace, is that she doesn't really care. She doesn't really care about the LGBTQ. She doesn't really care about black people. She doesn't really care even about the feminist movement or anything like that. She just panders to them because it makes herself feel better. She panders to them to be a part of the club and everything. And it's so funny when this happens to these wokers, because whenever they try to pander to one victim group and then they end up offending another victim group. And I find it very interesting that Grace is so comfortable speaking for black people. Like, black people, you need to be offended by this. This is terrible. Telling them how to think. The privileged white woman, by the way. Wealthy, privileged white woman telling other people how to think. Just had to throw that in here at the end here. No matter how Tourette, oh yeah, she continues, no matter how Tourette's works, that the BAFTAs subjected Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo to that outrageous and shameful. Again, the guy was doing it all night. If you want to say it was a bad decision to put him in the front row, I could maybe agree with that. But something else that we're seeing from like-minded people to Grace Randolph is they're advocating for segregation of people with mental disorders and neurological disorders. They're advocating for segregation. They should be taken out, separate but equal. They should be taken out of the building or out of the room and made to watch somewhere else. Grace Randolph steps in it once again, you guys, and it's hilarious. This might be the worst one. This might be the absolute worst one of Grace that Grace has ever stepped in it. I gotta say, at least that I've seen since I've been covering the bitch.